So, hello. It's a day 5 of the 30-day talking to camera challenge. Today I have a mic in my hand. I connect my handy to the camera, so I actually can make sure that I'm sharp. According to what my camera is showing, I'm sharp. I don't know what this camera doing at the moment. I think it's recording, but it's not showing it. So anyway, day 5, it's Friday. The day is, as usually, pretty full. Friday is for us usually the grocery shopping day and the training day. Full program. Watch some Hotel Transylvania, I think, with my daughter, and then I squeeze this gig now in between. I have a big problem to keep it all here lighted as it's supposed to be lighted. The lighting is okay, but I still need to record this in 640 ISO. It's not native for this camera. It have some very shallow depth of field, so if I will do something like this, probably I out of focus, and if I just probably stop and somewhere here, I will be for sure out of focus. So I think I need to stay exactly like in front of this one of the corner of the table, which is in front of me, to make sure that I'm pretty much in the right spot. Still glancing on the telephone to make sure you see the nice blurry background, which is, I think that's how you're supposed to do it. But this is like another experiment with the settings of the camera. That was pretty funny week. If this is day 5, I start on Monday. It's something. It's already 5 days, and it was not so bad to keep this up. A little bit short on time, probably. Sometimes you would rather just already relax and do stuff which is actually relaxing, not stressing. But yeah, that's the challenge, I guess. That's the point of the challenge, to go out of your comfort zone and like do something which you totally not normal and not usually doing. From the setup, as I already said, today microphone in hand, we'll see. I just have no idea where should I put it. The shotgun is too far away. This one is actually, it's pretty big. Rode wireless go-to microphones, but I try to kind of stick it here, like clamp some clothing, but then it's like make your clothing look bad, and then stick it here. It's a little bit too much under your head. It's like, I don't know. Probably if you have like nice a suit or something, you can probably just put it here, and then it's nice. But I'm not a suit guy, so I don't have one yet. Maybe at some point. Anyways, the point is now you can see the last shelf, and the last shelf was empty in the last video, but you cannot know that because the camera was too low. Now the camera is a little bit higher and you can see it, so I need to kind of put something on it. So yeah, so counter, go on, just keep counting. Yeah, I don't know really. That was kind of interesting day. I spent less time in the office, more time in the actually doing stuff with my hands instead of computer and keyboard and mouse. So it doesn't happen too often so far. I changed to the office work in the last, I don't know, for the last 5 years, and I was more and more in the office, less and less in the workshop. But today happened to be I need to, because there is nobody else who can do stuff. So it's just a lot of work. Everybody is busy, and yeah, and stuff need to get done. That's probably how the next week will go on for a little bit as well. I'm still waiting for delivery of my camera backpack. If we take in count that we have now a camera is in cage. Cage have a like a holder on it, like a handle, top handle, and then we have on the cage we have a shotgun mic, and on the handle at the moment there are the Rode Wireless Go microphone base attached, lenses. Like we have we have a second lens, which which we get with the camera, and we have this small lens which we buy aftermarket used. Additionally to that, we have filters. I didn't even know before that something like filters exist for the cameras. So if you actually want to shoot the video, for example, in 30 frames per second, and you want to keep it looks like natural, you need to get your shutter speed in around 60. I think it's 60 milliseconds. And so you have 30 frames per second, 60 milliseconds shutter speed. So there's this 60 millisecond moment when you allow the light to get to the sensor to collect the data. So what you do when you have too much light, you want to shorten this time. That's what you do in photography. You shorten this time of exposure from 60 to, for example, 40 or 30. But if you do something like that with the actually video, with the film, everything will be blurry because this will be this. Sorry, of course, other way around. You want to, if you have too much light, you want to speed up your shutter speed, because your shutter speed decide how much light you will get on your sensor. So if you have too much light, everything will be way too bright. So you want to kind of speed it up. You want to be faster. You want to your frame per second, and you have your shutter speed. If you want to get a smooth movement, you need to always aim your shutter speed, double your frame per second. So 30 frames per second, 60 millisecond shutter speed. And then if you want to have a 60 frame per second, you go to 120. And the bigger number for the shutter speed means that you will be quicker. You will be making the pictures for your film faster. So at some point, if you stay by 30 frames per second, but your shutter speed will be not 60, but it will be like 240, it will not look like natural. Like if I do like this, you can see that my hand is actually start to be blurry. That's how the human's eye see this hand. It start to be blurry. But if you shoot the same video with 240 shutter speed or 600 shutter speed or even higher values, you will have extreme sharp pictures. Every frame will be extremely sharp. The point is, in photography, if you have too much light, you just speed up your shutter speed, but you cannot do it in the film, because film is a set of pictures. So what you do, you have this filters which you actually put on your lens, and you can additionally, it's like a shades pretty much for the lens. So if you have too much lights going in, you just turn this filter, and you can adjust, by not adjusting the frame rate stay as it is, the shutter speed stays as you want it, your aperture can stay as you want it, and then you can regulate it with this ND filter. It's like, of course, there is always the aperture which you can adjust as well to kind of adjust the amount of light which goes into your lens. But from other side, if you start play with aperture, you will have a different, I think it's called depth of field, depth of field, field of depth. I don't know actually. If you start to play with aperture, you will influence, for example, how blurry this background is, because that's exactly what your aperture do. In between other more important tasks, of course, but once you start to play around with aperture settings, you will have every time different kind of blur. So if you don't want to change this basic setup and you work with the manual setup on your camera, ND filter is the stuff you need to just put on your lens, and then you are good to go if in the bright light. Even if you want to go with long exposure pictures, for example, or films, um, I think pictures more. If you, for example, want to go to the waterfall and you want to make a very artistic water, I don't know why I've done that. It's like they are artistic. It's not like they are not. They are like artistic. No, they are like properly artistic. You can make very nice pictures. And then you go to waterfall and you want to make a one picture where your shutter speed is very slow, so you get this nice blur over the whole waterfall. But if you do that without the filter, you will just overexpose everything, and everything will be just one big white picture. So you can put this ND filter, put it right down, and then increase how long your shutter is open. So you put like very dark shades on your camera and then allow it to collect light for very, very long time, because there is so little light going through this filter. So you can make it work, and then you can end up with perfect picture with extreme blurry water in the waterfall. So yeah, I'm talking about it, of course, not because I know much about it. I talk about it because I need to talk about something. In my opinion, this knowledge, it's usually very case specific. Let's say they will tell you how to make a picture of a car, and they will tell you how to make a picture late in the evening. But when you try to make a picture of a car late in the evening, there will be some stuff missing. And there is barely anybody talking. This is just totally random example which just came to my mind, but I'm working a little bit on some programming stuff, and there is plenty information about programming in internet, but it's always very case specific. The same with the making videos. And at some point when you try to put something together and you are like, okay, I know how to do A, I know how to do B and C and D, and so now I can do everything. No, it's not really, because you just realize that to actually know A and B, that's one thing, but be able to properly, efficiently connect A and B, it's totally different story. Yeah, so I think that will be enough rambling for today. Yeah, but I will try probably to do Saturday video tomorrow on the evening, as I used to, and then I will probably try to do Sunday video somewhere in the middle of the day, maybe somewhere else. Maybe we will go outside, I don't know, maybe to the greenhouse, I don't know. But I don't want to leave it for the evening, because Sunday evening is dedicated to my wife, so not filming on the Sunday evening. So I need to do it before. So that's all for day 5 of the 30 days in front of the camera challenge, and I feel positive about the whole thing. So, tschüss.